Hello and welcome back to our special interview series where we are privileged to be honored by none other than number 22, Sam Stith. Sam, thank you for coming back with us. We appreciate you
Oh,
being
wow.
here.
This is nice. I appreciate it. I really do.
So, Sam, when we last left off, we were talking about your transition into post-playing life. However, I think maybe we want to go back to some of the beginning, some of the starts. Now, I noticed that on your wall of fame, that there's some memorabilia there that go back to your early playing days. And that's what I think we want to talk about this time.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that retired jersey that you have from St. Francis Prep. What does that mean to you?
Big time. Big time. That was a historical moment in my life of the contribution that I made to St. Francis basketball. And it was like a happening. My family was there for the unveiling. Some friends I grew up with was there for the unveiling. And it was a historical moment. Also, my brother got his number retired at the same time. So it was a fantastic feeling from a fantastic high school.
So, Sam, schools just don't retire jerseys. There has to be some significant contribution in order for that feat to happen. Why don't you go ahead and share with us some of those feats that you accomplished over at St. Francis Prep?
Okay, well, first of all, was the first African American to play, at the school, and then also the Catholic League in Brooklyn. And while there, we were totally successful. We won two championships, NC Catholic High School championships, two national championships. My first year playing on the varsity, we were 31-0. Second year, we were 31-1. National championships, fantastic team, and we were the best in the Catholic League as well as the public school league. We were a fantastic team. Luckily, we were 8 deep, though. We had a fantastic overall team. It was just Tom and myself. So we had an overall team. But the contribution that I contributed to the school, then it opened up an avenue for our, African Americans to go to the school.
So, Sam, I also noticed that you do have a Catholic High Schools Hall of Fame award as well. Why don't you go ahead and share what that meant as well?
That's the epitome of playing basketball. Like I mentioned, the reasons that I was inducted into the Hall of Fame because of our contribution to St. Francis basketball. That was another great moment. It was a packed house, alumni all over the place. A lot of questions of how I got to St. Francis Prep along those lines. So a lot of happening. To be inducted any kind of Hall of Fame shows what kind of contribution you made to the game of basketball for that particular high school.
That's awesome, Sam. So, real quick, why don't you go ahead and break down your most memorable game at St. Francis Prep for us?
Beating St. Anne's with Lou Second in the Madison Square Garden in front of 16,000 people, and playing against some of my local guys from Holland, and we won that game.
Awesome. So, Sam, we move on to St. Bonaventures. And I also noticed that we have a St. Bonaventure Hall of Fame award. We also have a St. Bonaventure retired jersey, which I notice is right behind you. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what that significance means to you?
One of the greatest feelings that I had was at our annual end of the year banquet. The university president was giving a speech, and my athletic director from St. Francis Prep was in the audience, was sitting on the dais with us, and he had my jersey. He says that no one in the school will ever wear this jersey again because of the contribution that Sam made to our program. And in addition, it's the first jersey that we will ever retire in a university. And that led up to a lot more jerseys being retired. It was the first one in the school's history to be retired, number 22.
And I'm going to go right back to it, Sam. Give me the most memorable game at St. Bonaventure University.
Madison Square Garden against St. John's University. I scored 37 points, 18 for 20, and still hold the record for most field goals in the tournament. That was against 17,000 in the Garden. My family was there, and matter of fact, ironically enough, the coach of St. John's was Joe Lapchick, who used to coach the New York Knicks.
Sam, one of the other awards I noticed, or actually article that I noticed, was the headline read Greatest Brother Act in History at St. Bonaventure University. Why don't you go ahead and share with us what that means?
Well, we were playing in the garden, NIT, Tom and myself, right? And the Daily News had that. The New York Daily News had that. This is the greatest brother act in college basketball history. And when somebody showed me the headlines, I was totally in awe of how many brothers had played college basketball, like the Ricketts brothers at Duquesne, the Van Arsdale. But right now, that was a heck of a tribute to our history.
Again, Sam, an article like that just doesn't get written by the Daily News for just anybody. How did you and Tom make such a significant contribution to St. Bonaventure's to have an article like that in a national publication such as the Daily
Well,
News?
what happened was we went to St. Bonaventure at the time. I did not know that we'd be the first ones to play African Americans to play in the school's history. We took a program that hardly anyone knew, that little small school from upstate New York, they were called. But after what we did to bring the school into national spotlight, it led to the growth of St. Bonaventure basketball. And from there, we allowed other minorities to come into the program, like the Laniers, the Freddie Crawfords, who we recruited to enhance the program. And ironic enough, out of the top 20 ball players of all time that they chose, 18 was African American.
That's awesome, Sam. Well, there's another award I noticed, and it was for the Rucker Pro Legend, recognizing you, Sam Stith, for your contributions to the game of basketball and to Harlem. Why don't you go ahead and share with us what that's all about?
Well, back in the day, the Rucker was just for high schools, right? Uh, and junior high school. And we were there initially, Tom and I, initially when it was created by Holcomb Rucker, all right? And Holcomb Rucker was a Parks guy. And at 36, he passed away. And Fred Crawford and Bob McCullough kept the program going. And later on, back then, NBA players couldn't play outside ball, but they went to the Knicks to see if they could have some of the NBA players play in the Rucker. And I was coaching the team at the time. And so the first guys to come from the Knicks was Bill Bradley, Johnny Green, which was on my team, right? So that got the Rucker going up 155th Street now. Then you got Willis Reed, then you got Connie Hawkins, then you got Dr. J. Today is the most international name in the playground ball, and the Ruckers. Now, what we did again, we integrated the Rucker. We brought when we came home one time from college, everybody got the teams, so we brought our players from Harlem, from the team to play in the Rucker. These are white guys. That was our teammates plus a couple of local guys, and we integrated the Rucker. Then you had the Al Sidens, guys like them St. John's, but we integrated the Rucker.
That's incredible, Sam. That's some history that just people just don't know. So another award I noticed, and this was very profound, was one from the Manhattan Borough President for your dedication in improving the life of youth in Central Harlem. Why don't you go ahead and share with us what that meant to you?
A guy named Tank Bonds started to create a Hall of Fame for black players out of Harlem, right? Just Harlem alone, which is a lot of players out of Harlem, right? It's the Harlem Basketball Hall of Fame, and my brother, we're the first ones inducted into that program, and that program was geared toward getting recognition to athletes who played in the playground, not pros, not college, but played in the playgrounds. Your Joe Hammond, your Pee Wee Kirtlands, Pablo Robertson, guys like that who came Globetrotter. These guys were more popular than the NBA players. The local guys got more applause than the pros, right? These are phenomenal players who some didn't go to college for their own reasons, but they were outstanding players, and it was a lot of them, a lot of players. And matter of fact, this is the third year coming up now, and you got a lot of players in there. But local guys really is the main focus of that program.
Incredible, Sam. Well, as we wind down for this segment, I'm going to hit you with a good question here. And I know you're ready for it. And I'm sure all our St. Bonaventure fans are ready for it. Sam, name me your St. Bonaventure all-time starting five and who's coming off the bench.
I played with a lot of guys. First of all, we had in the backcourt, Whitey Martin, Ron Whitey Martin. Then we had Kenny Fairfield in the forward, had Tom. Then we had John Connors as a forward. Then we had, let me see, we had Mike Stroth. Mike Stroth coming off the bench was the first sixth man in Bonner history to get any kind of recognition. Then we had Tommy Hannon out of Scranton, Pennsylvania, what you call our enforcer. Then we had Tom Fitzmaurice out of New York, big, tall, an enforcer also. Then we had a ball player that didn't get any recognition, right? And that would be my main man, Lee Fitzpatrick, right? He was a role player, but he made a lot of contributions because we played a lot of team basketball. I got a memory like unbelievable, but right now, I'm trying to think now who else is on the team. Whitey Martin, Tom, myself, John Connors, Tom Fitzmaurice, Tommy Hannon, Whitey Martin. Right now, I think I have to relook at some of my stuff. Good question.
So, out of those players that you named, that you played with, if we look at St. Bonaventure's history, starting with you and Tom, and maybe even up to today, who would be your starting five?
Right now, my brother Tom, myself, Bob Lanier, Fred Crawford, a player named Miles Aiken, who was the first guy to go to Europe to play. And I would say Don Newhook.
And who's the coach?
Eddie Donovan.
You got it. Well, we appreciate your time, Sam. Thanks for coming back again, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of memory lanes for this. Thank you.